Do you dislike winter so much that you tend to ignore your coat collection, and then when it's time to get dressed and leave the house, you really don't have anything to put on over top of your outfit? Let's talk about that today. So full disclosure, I am someone who does not love winter. I tend to want it to be warm and sunny and not have to wear a coat. And yet for the last decade plus, I have lived either in Colorado or now in Utah, where it is cold, and it is cold for a long stretch of the year. So I have finally warmed up to the idea of winter and created a coat wardrobe that I really love, so that when the weather gets colder, I'm actually excited to wear it. So I want to start by saying that coats were a sticking point for me for a very long time. I lived outside of Philadelphia for many, many years. And that cold, dreary, damp winter, fall, winter, spring weather really made it so that all I was doing was wishing for nicer weather and warmer days. And I really, truly ignored the coat factor. I really resisted having a coat I even liked because I just hated winter, and it felt like investing any money in a coat meant that I was sort of accepting the idea of cold weather being okay. And I definitely did not feel that way. My feeling about coats honestly changed when I had a clothing swap, and a friend of mine had this gorgeous hot pink wool kind of Paddington Bear shaped coat, and she was getting rid of it. She was ready to be rid of it, and I took it over. I swapped, and that was one of the things I came home with, and I absolutely loved that coat. And I realized that wearing that, I kind of wish I still had it. I did edit it out at some point, and I think I would still really enjoy wearing it. And so if I ever see it again somewhere, I believe it was from Target. It was one of the early collabs that Target did. I think it was with Isaac Mizrahi, and it was fabulous. Anyway, that coat made me realize that wearing a coat I actually loved, that was also warm enough, that also felt like my authentic personality, made winter more bearable, and it made it more fun to complete my look with a coat instead of feeling like I was just pulling something on for warmth, but it didn't actually feel like me and it wasn't part of my style. It was just purely functional. It could have been a sleeping bag that I threw over my shoulders. That's kind of how coats always felt to me. And yet this hot pink coat that was swapped with my friend Kristen really truly opened my mind to the idea that a winter coat could actually be part of my wardrobe, and I could enjoy that instead of having it just be purely functional and something to kind of wear until I could get through to the spring and the summer. So the collection of coats that you see right here, I'm going to kind of talk through how each one ended up in my wardrobe and what I love about it. And, really, I wear them all multiple different ways to multiple different occasions, but I'll kind of touch on kind of the dressier ones versus the more casual ones. I don't ski, I don't do winter sports, so you won't see any of that here. And I will point out which ones are secondhand, because that, for me, has been the biggest change with regard to my coat wardrobe, was shifting my thinking around the fact that I had to buy a new winter coat and really looking and exploring the secondhand options so that I could create this wardrobe without investing a ton of money and experiment with different shapes and different fabrics and that sort of thing. So I'm going to talk through kind of what's in my coat collection, how it came into my wardrobe, and kind of why it works for me. I will mention that the thing to keep in mind if you live somewhere where it's cold is that a coat is usually the thing people see the most of on you in the winter. So if you go to the grocery store, if you go to the gym, if you go, all the places that we go in the winter that are outside of our homes, what people are seeing usually is your coat. So while I ignored this for a very long time, I really truly believe that our coat is like a super important part of our wardrobe in the winter so that it feels and looks authentic when we get dressed, and it completes our look instead of competing with it or feeling like it's kind of out of left field and doesn't really feel congruent or look congruent and complete the outfit. So I'm going to start at the far end with a couple that are a little more sporty, if you know me at all. And let me back up a second and say, I'm Kristen from Kristen Kane Style. Welcome. I'm thrilled that you are here. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I'm a style and mindset coach. And what that means is here on this channel, I coach. Sometimes I include clothing and I will show things and try things on and make outfits and that sort of thing. Edit my closet. And sometimes I'm just coaching. I'm sitting down at my desk, or I'm sitting in front of my closet and I'm just coaching on a topic, on a style struggle that has come up repeatedly with my clients that I believe could be helpful. And my approach, though I have over 20 years of experience in closets and in fitting rooms working with clients, I have lots of experience in how to make a great outfit, in how to shop, in how to know what pieces work for your lifestyle, how to pack a suitcase, how to get dressed for a special occasion, how to know what to edit out when it's time to revamp your wardrobe. I know how to do all of that, and I can teach you, and I do teach my clients that. But the most important thing to me is that women understand that the thoughts that they think, specifically the limiting beliefs that might have been in place for a very long time, going unnoticed, kind of running the show in the background of your mind, are the reason you are struggling with your style. Just taking coats as an example, I really didn't like winter. I was not interested in enjoying winter or in having my feeling about winter change. Winter was kind of cold and dark and gray, and there was no way that my coat was going to change that. And yet once I recognized that it was possible through a hot pink coat, in that case, it was possible to change how I felt when I put that coat on and to have winter feel different and my wardrobe feel different as a result, I could really see how my mindset was at play. And that's just an example of how mindset can make a difference. I hated winter, therefore I thought I would hate all coats, and I wasn't willing to spend money on coats. I now realize you don't even have to spend a lot of money on coats, and there are lots of coats that can change your mood and change your outfit and feel really great when you wear them. I do work one-on-one with clients in addition to coaching here and over on Instagram. Style therapy is the way that we do that. There's a link down below that'll give you all the details for both levels of style therapy, as well as there is a link to book a consult call if you would like to hop on a Zoom with me and have me help you decide if style therapy is the right fit for you. So, speaking of fit, let's talk about coats. This first coat, I'm going to be completely honest, I very rarely wear this, but because it doesn't really rain, it didn't in Colorado and it doesn't in Utah, that's not the norm. If it's raining, it's usually warm enough that I don't need a coat, or it's snowing, in which case I need a different coat. So this is just a thrifted jacket from Old Navy. I like it because it is a windbreaker and it's kind of sporty, but it's still got some style. And I thrifted it a few years ago. I don't wear it often, but I'm glad that I have it because it finishes an outfit with what I need as far as waterproof or windproof when necessary. And like I said, it still feels like me. I am not sporty. I don't own a single piece of Patagonia, much to probably the chagrin of all the rest of the folks in Utah and or in Colorado when I lived there. But this feels a little bit sporty. I could wear it on a hike if I wanted to with a sweatshirt. I can also put it on to go to the grocery store, still feel like me, still feel like it fits my vibe and fits my general overall personal style. And it was very inexpensive because it was thrifted. This next one, also thrifted. I wanted this coat for a long time, this jacket. I was gifted one. Greta gave me one for Christmas a few years ago. It was too small. I went to exchange it. They didn't have any more, so I didn't get it. And then last year I was thrifting actually with my mom in Ohio and tried this on, and she bought it for me as a gift. And I am thrilled because I love it. It is Uniqlo. And it is one of their ultralight down. It comes with a little pouch, and literally I can pack it up and put it in my suitcase. I can put it in my car and have it if I need another layer. One of the coolest things about this really thin ultra down is that I can wear it under wool coats if I'm really cold or spending the day in a city when it's chilly. I can put this on underneath a coat and it makes the coat warmer, but it doesn't really take up a whole lot of room. As you can see, the sweater I have on is Quince. That's linked down below. I am partnering with Quince currently and thrilled about it. I'll add the video up here of my recent Quince pieces so that you can check those out. But this sweater is not small. It has a decent amount of bulk to the fabric. It's got a nice heft to it, and it is sizable to put under a jacket. And yet this little jacket is just the right shape and size to go over sweaters. And again, it feels a little more stylish. The coolest thing, one of the coolest things about this, in addition to the foldability, is it has a snap on the inside of the jacket that is just a little tab that I can very easily snap down, and then it makes the jacket V-neck, which is just a little more added style in just a very simple down jacket. It is not warm enough to wear, if I were going out for a big hike. It's obviously a very thin down, and yet I like the stylish nature of it. I have wanted one of these for a long time, so I was thrilled when I found this last year thrifting with my mom. They do still have it, and they have it in a whole bunch of colors. It's just that if you wait until kind of after the holidays, they might be out of the color and the size that you want. This one. So This jacket I have mentioned before on a previous YouTube video. I thrifted this jacket. It is by Oatmeal, and I ordered this jacket from Amazon. It's sort of a viral Amazon coat. Somewhere on the upper west side, upper east side, maybe upper both sides of Manhattan, this jacket became very popular several years ago, and it was sort of the must-have, and everyone was raving about it. I think full price, it was about $150, and I ordered one, and I wore it around the block a couple of times and gave it a shot and thought, I don't think I actually love it. I don't want to invest $150 in that jacket. And so I sent it back. It unzips on the side and has a vent. It comes in cream. I want to say it comes in black. It comes in a couple of different colors. Then I was thrifting maybe 18 months ago, maybe 2 years ago at this point, and I found it. And it was $3.99. And it needed a wash. And I thought, okay, I wasn't willing to spend $150 on it. Didn't feel like I needed it in my wardrobe then. But for $3.99, I think maybe I want to give it a try, and I'll wash it and we'll see what happens. So I washed it. It came perfectly clean. I have worn this. It is great when it's cold. I like that it is sporty. It's a puffer jacket, and yet it is stylish. I like the element of the fact that it was, a super popular it coat, but that's not very important to me. It's just, that's kind of a fun feature. To me, the most fun feature is that it was under $4. All of that to say, so far, thrifted. All thrifted. These first three. Also thrifted. This one came from that same trip to Ohio to visit my mom, and it is J. Crew. I love the fact that it's bright. I love the fact that it goes with everything in my wardrobe. I can put it on over most of my regular outfits. It is warm, machine washable. I washed it as soon as I purchased it. And it is sporty, but still feels like me. And I like the brightness when it gets really drab and dull in the middle of the winter. It's nice to have something that feels a little bit more colorful and a little more lively. I could also put this on with sweatpants and a pair of hiking boots and, a sweatshirt and go for a serious walk in it and wear it more sporty. But I usually wear it just over my regular clothes to run errands and that sort of thing. Same with this one. You can see a theme here, all the way back to the hot pink one that I don't have any longer. I realized that in the middle of winter, when everything is really dull and drab, I need more color, and I don't always have the color in my wardrobe. And even if I have the color in my wardrobe, my coat is the thing that's on when I'm running in and out of stores, when I'm going places. The coat is what everyone sees, and it's what I see. So this one, it snaps asymmetrically. It is J. Jill, also thrifted. Actually, this is consignment, so a little bit higher end, but still super affordable. Machine washable, washes really well, really cozy and comfortable. This one, I tend to wear with this scarf because it makes it feel like me, because I wear this scarf with other things when I don't have this jacket on, but the scarf with the jacket just kind of feels like me and feels like an extension of my regular wardrobe. I like that this one's a little bit longer, so it just adds a little bit more warmth. And it's lightweight. It's not heavy on my body, which I think for a long time was part of my hang up with coats. They just always weighed me down and it wasn't comfortable. They weren't comfortable in the car to be driving. So all of these, this one is probably the heaviest, but all of these feel good on my body. The weight doesn't feel like it's too much. All thrifted so far. This is sort of the sleeper out of nowhere coat. So this coat is from Forever 21. And it is probably now about 6 years old. I took a picture of it in the mirror the day that I tried it on and sent it to Matthew and said, "Is this the most ridiculous thing that you've ever seen?" And he said, "No, actually I think it's kind of cool." It's the only coat on the rack that was purchased retail. Everything else is thrifted. So this one's from Forever 21. It's old. It was kind of just at the beginning of sort of this furry, puffy teddy bear coat craze. I still wear it, especially when I'm dressed up. It feels like a nice evening coat if I don't want to wear something that's just plain wool. And I also can wear it with sneakers and still feel totally like myself. Again, it adds a little bit of interest. It makes my very simple outfit feel like I'm celebrating winter instead of shying away from winter and wanting to hole up in my house. This one might be my very favorite coat ever. I have talked about this coat in previous videos. This coat was thrifted. It was hanging in the men's department, though it is a woman's coat. It was $5.99 less some sort of discount. It was very oversized when I purchased it, so I invested in having it cut down to my frame, having it altered professionally so that I could wear it. It is 100% cashmere, and it makes me happy every single time I put it on. I have taken it to other cities. I've taken it to other countries. I have worn it layered with this Uniqlo puffer underneath it for added warmth. I absolutely love this coat. It is so lightweight that there is no bulk. It does not weigh me down at all. I can put heavy sweaters under it because of the nice deep armhole. I can put a blazer underneath it. And one of the most magical things about it, other than the fact that it's 100% cashmere and it feels incredible, is that it is fully reversible to 100% silk. $5.99. So the silk side, I've worn a couple of times when I've been more dressed up and wanted to have something that felt a little more like evening. So it is just smooth, 100% silk on the outside, fully reversible. It's just a fabulous coat. Had I not been willing to look for coats secondhand, I would have missed this. But I had started the search for coats that I could bring into my wardrobe that would feel like me and would feel like I was intentionally completing an outfit. Because I think so often, if we don't like winter, if we don't like the season, for me it's winter, if we don't like winter, we tend to shy away from spending time and money and energy on the clothing that would make that season more comfortable. And yet now that I have done that and I have so many coats that I love, it's sometimes a challenge to figure out which one I want to wear because I genuinely love them all and can wear them all in multiple ways to multiple places. So this next one is also Forever 21, though this was thrifted. So these wool coats, these 4 wool coats that I will show, I thrifted them for under $10 a piece, easily under $10. Probably some of them were under $7 and under $5. And then I paid to have them dry cleaned. So they were all in fine shape. This one is not wool. This is all man-made. It is a couple sizes up from my normal size. And yet I wanted it that way. I wanted a camel kind of coat that felt oversized and yummy, that made my outfit look more finished instead of like I was adding a sleeping bag that didn't really go with the rest of my vibe. So this one too, I wear with this scarf often. Just feels good. Recently, got this great little beanie from Quince. Really good, right? It makes winter fun. I'm actually embracing a season that I don't love all that much by having pieces that make me feel finished and like myself and warm enough. Next one was one of the first ones I purchased when I decided I was going to experiment with this wool coat thing. So I don't really wear wool, and there are times when a wool coat, these two I guess are wool. There are times when a wool coat can be a little scratchy around my neck. However, I rarely have these on long enough for it to bother me, and they were so inexpensive, and they've just come out of my storage box, so they're a little crinkled. They need to be steamed a little bit. This one too, a little oversized. I took it to the dry cleaner. It is wool, so the neck is a little bit itchy, so I'm better if I put something on, a scarf or something on underneath it so that it doesn't bother my neck. But it is just such a great coat without spending a lot of money. This was thrifted and it was under $10, and then I maybe spent $20 to have it dry cleaned. Way less than I would spend if I were going even to a discount store to try to find a wool coat. And it's allowed me to bring in a herringbone when I probably wouldn't have needed a gray herringbone coat otherwise, but I rotate through all of these, especially because I live somewhere where it's cold. This next one, same thing. The more I saw long wool coats kind of making a comeback, the more I thought I want to have a couple of long wool coats that feel good when I put them on and make the outfit complete without it feeling like someone else. And this one was kind of the same thing. I like the fact that it almost feels like a shirt dress. I like the narrow silhouette of it. I like that I can wear it over top of pretty much anything. I can wear it with lots of different scarves and hats. And it just looks and feels like me. And if I want to go out to dinner or go do something where it's a little bit dressier, I don't have to just pull on a puffer coat. Not that there's anything wrong with a puffer coat over top of a dressier outfit, because that look is totally cool also. It's just that I really wanted a long, flowy kind of bathrobe-y feel to my wool longer coats. And I was able to achieve that at the thrift level so that I'm not investing a ton of money. And then this last one I added last year at the end of the season. This one is Old Navy. It is acrylic. I washed it and it washed really well. I've embraced the idea that I live where it's cold and I'm going to need coats. And if I'm going to need coats, I want them to be comfortable on my body. I want them to be able to layer over top of all the big bulky sweaters that I wear or the blazers that I might wear out to dinner and have them still be comfortable and I can still move around. And I wanted them to be in my wheelhouse as far as color goes. Like these colors coordinate with all the things that I wear, blue denim, and then all the other things that I wear on top or on bottom. This one, I really just, I like the way it's kind of almost a menswear top coat shape, that it's not as long as the other wool ones. And yet it feels like me. I feel finished. It feels like I am embracing winter in a positive way and having the mindset that I'm going to head to toe, all the layers, have my wardrobe look complete and cohesive, even during a season I don't love. And I urge you, if you've been kind of stuck in this place of, I don't want to invest in a coat because I don't love winter, I can't find any coats that I really like, I would offer that probably the thrift stores near you have some winter coats that you could maybe rescue and bring home and begin loving. Because as I said, the only coat on this entire rack that was purchased retail was this one from Forever 21. The rest of them were all purchased secondhand. And the thing about secondhand coats is usually they are a pretty well-made garment. Coats are designed to last, whether they're a puffer jacket or whether they're a wool coat or some sort of man-made fabric coat. They're made in fabrics that are designed to withstand the wear and the tear that a coat takes in the winter. And so it's really possible to find incredible winter coats out there that have not been trashed, that are really pretty easy to clean up, whether you're putting them in the washing machine or whether you're taking them to the dry cleaner or just steaming them yourself at home. They're still available in great shape at a resale level, whether it's consignment or thrift. Or a swap. Check out with your friends, what coats do they have that they're sick of or they never wear because they itch around the neck or the sleeve is too long or whatever, and swap with your friends. Find a friend who has a hot pink coat that you can adopt and love and that might change your attitude about winter overall. So I want to mention a couple other things about shopping for winter coats because perfectionism can get in the way here. And if you are going to go to a retail store and invest some money in a winter coat, it is, I think what was happening to me also, it is easy to get stuck in the idea of, I don't know which one to pick, so I'm going to keep waiting. Or I'm going to wait till it goes on sale, or I'm going to wait until next winter because I don't feel like making this decision or spending this money or investing this time and energy now. And so I want to mention that by shopping secondhand, you give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. The beautiful thing about secondhand shopping and perfectionism is it kind of takes a layer of that perfectionism right off the top because you don't necessarily have all of the options that you would have at retail. And so it allows you to let something be good enough instead of holding out for this unattainable perfection. In addition, secondhand allows you to experiment with styles and shapes. I don't know that I would have purchased all of these coats. Well, we know I wouldn't have purchased this one full price because I did and I returned it. Most of these coats, I'm not sure that I would have purchased full price. And yet because they were so affordable and they were readily available, I was able to create this coat wardrobe that really satisfies every need that I have with the exception of a raincoat. But as I said in the beginning, it really doesn't rain where I live. So if I lived on the East Coast, I might be, and was actually in those days, more tempted to have a trench coat, which you'll notice I don't have because it's just not authentic for me as much as I love it on other women. But shopping secondhand allowed me to not pay attention to the perfectionism, to invest. Probably if I added all of these up, they are the price of one great winter coat at a regular retailer or department store. And yet I now have so many different ways that I can wear these. Also, pick a coat. You don't have to have this many coats. I realize this is a lot of coats. And I live where it is cold and dry for a lot of the year. And so this works for me. You can pick one great coat and then have several different hat and glove and scarf combinations. so that if all you want to wear is a green coat, you can then pick lots of different scarf and hat and glove combinations that will make your one coat look different. You could choose black or you could choose a lighter color, but allow the accessories, the winter accessories, to be where you have some fun so that you don't feel like, oh, I just have this one, Carhartt hat that doesn't match any of my coats. You want to take the same approach here that you do in your regular wardrobe and make sure that you have a full look. That if this is your coat, that you have the rest of the pieces to make it look put together when you're out running errands and you really truly need to have a hat and a scarf and gloves on. And the other thing is pay attention to the fit. You saw me try all of these on over this relatively bulky Quince cashmere sweater. Wear a bulky sweater to the store or grab one off the rack at the store as you're trying on coats to make sure that the armhole and the shoulder and you can kind of hug people and move your arms. Make sure that what you're wearing and what you most often wear will fit underneath the coat so that everything can be comfortable, because there's nothing worse than having a coat that feels kind of restrictive and then you go to get in your car and you're trying to reach around and you just want to peel it off while you're driving. You want your coat to be comfortable. You want it to be an extension of your regular wardrobe. You want it to be within your budget. You want it to be within your color wheelhouse so that everything that you put on underneath it kind of makes it work and coordinates with it. So most of all, trust yourself. Trust yourself to extend your wardrobe into your coat collection so that your whole vibe looks cohesive and your personal style can show even when it's bitter cold and you have to have a coat on most of the day when you're out of your house. I would love to know how you feel about winter coats. Do you have a collection of winter coats? Do you have only one winter coat that you kind of wear with everything? Either way is totally fine. For me, this worked because I didn't really like any winter coats enough to invest in a one main winter coat. And this allows me to change my coat as I change my mood or my outfit or the weather outside is a little bit different. And every single one of these coats I wear and I love, and they feel like me, and they make me actually like winter a little bit more. If you're curious about how letting go of your limiting beliefs could actually solve your style struggles, there's a link down below for style therapy. You can book a free consultation call and we can talk about whether or not it's a good fit for you right now. I would love to work with you one-on-one. If you're not already following me over on Instagram, I am at Kristen Kane Style over there, and I share kind of in the moment, real-time style things that I can't share here quite as easily. And if you're not already on my email list, there's a link down below to join. That's where I share kind of the most intimate, most current information. I send an email out every week. I promise not to bombard you with things. I don't have time for that. I'm too busy wearing my coats and working one-on-one with clients. Thanks so much for watching. There will be a new video out next Friday. And if you'd like to see my interpretation of the movie The Holiday and a capsule wardrobe from it, you can watch this video next. You can tell I'm getting all the cozy in.